What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another new comic book day, and at least new comic book day haul to me. New to me, that is. And so hopefully everybody is doing great out there. Now, before I get into all of the books that I picked up today, be sure to go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so that when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you will be one of the first people to know and can make the conscientious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or to watch it later. But in either case, as long as you watch it, we appreciate you for watching. Look at that shiny must got those bell notifications. Just happened to see it, as well as David Ewan. What is going on today? How are y'all? So yes, be sure to hit those bell notifications because this Friday at 2 o'clock, we'll be doing my 600 subscriber giveaway. To one lucky winner will win a New Mutants 98 9.4 CGC slab and an accompanied Deadpool pop to go along with it. So for everybody that entered, before we hit that 600 mark, your name is going to be on the wheel and we're going to spin it to win it. Now, if you've ever been in one of my giveaway videos before, you know that I normally give away more than just what is mentioned there. And I will also be announcing what the next giveaway is going to be and how you can enter to win. So you don't want to miss that. Get on it sooner rather than later. Slim Comics, what is going on? He was showing off some stuff he had from Midtown earlier today, so check him out if you are not already subbed up to him. He just crossed over the 400 mark, so congratulations on that. So as what the title said, I picked up some new comic book day books, but thicker than just a new comic book day were the new to me comic books. The back issue bins these days seem to be a little more pleasing than the new comic books. Not just this week, but I've already put in my order for next week, and it's even lighter. Now, I'm perfectly okay with that because I have been trying to sift down to get really to the core of the matter, because my comics are multiplying faster than a gremlin in a hurricane, and that's pretty fast. And so culled out about 50 books to get rid of, to sell, and all that other kind of stuff, only to pick up just that many or just more. So these 7,000 plus comics are getting out of hand. What is going on? Hola, Perry, Corona toe. Yeah, you were watching that video and them toes were scaring you because it was like looking at your own toes. And so should be like Perry's movies and comics, right? Just saying. But thanks everybody for joining me live, or if you catch this on the rewind, that is good too. So let's talk about some new to me comic books, some used books, as it were. And we're going to start off with a book that I actually got in the mail, and that was Bloodshot Reborn #6. You might have seen me post this over on IG. This is an homage, obviously, to the Terminator, and pretty cool Bloodshot cover there. And the crazy, wacky thing about it was how it came packaged. So I usually get books from the community, and so the community is pretty standard to mail things in a Gemini mailer, flat rate envelope. Keep it simple, keep it cheap, keep it safe. That's important. This one came in a box about yay big for that comic. That's right, one comic came in a box about yay big, and it had some felt. It had a used up paper towel roll, and had some foam pieces. How any of that? Oh, in a box of empty Christmas lights. What that had to do with Bloodshot, or how they felt like that was actually keeping it safe, it's seven wonders that it actually got here to me correctly. What you get when you risk eBay, right? Packaged in a cereal box, something like that, you know. Matter of fact, I still got it over here. So maybe I should have. Work day is almost over. Fantastic, and glad you could stop by, J Hood. And yes, so this was in the box. This is the box that it came in. One comic book. Oh, look at that. I'm showing the person's name. This is the comic book. Notice how much it costs to mail it. I didn't pay that for shipping. It would have been cheaper for him to mail flat rate priority. This is a priority 3-day, but so let's look and see what all was in this box. So inside this box, this was on the bottom of the box. I don't know if he felt like that was going to make it keep from sliding around. We had a couple of pieces of foam, like so. Now, the bite marks that you might notice on that foam, if you were that studious, were not from him. They were from my son, who decided to try to do that out. And then the comic book was on top of that, and this was on top of the comic book. Try an empty box of Christmas lights. eBay shipping. I think there could be a show just talking about crazy eBay shippers, and you would think that some crazy eBay sellers would actually watch it and take note. But typically, when you order from the community, people want to get their stuff in the order, send their stuff in the way they would want to receive it, and typically use Gemini mailers. I got a book the other day where a bagged comic was firmly taped to a piece of cardboard, but it was not banged. But it got banged so hard that the corners of the comic book busted through the bag. Yikes. The cover got caught on the tape, and by the time I opened it, the cover was detached. Well, yeah, you're sitting there and you've done your homework, you've checked a book out, and you're like, man, I want to get that book. You got an agreed upon price. It's coming in the mail. You're all excited about it, only to find it damaged. And then you either got to send it back or, take a discount off of it. And, like with the cover that's detached, I'm like, no, you can just send me a refund or something, because that just kind of ruined it. Thankfully, it wasn't nothing big, but look, money doesn't grow on trees. And I know us as adults know that. We as kids didn't think that, and our kids don't think that. At least mine don't. And they think money does grow on trees. And so whenever you put your hard-earned money into buying an item, especially an item that you don't have to live, despite what we sometimes think about comic books, an item that we don't have to live, we expect it to be right. And so whether it's $2 or $200, to me, it doesn't make any difference. It's still money wasted, but just my opinion. So we've got 6 people joining today. So again, appreciate you. So I did hit up the dollar bins, as it were, first, and then I got into some of the other bigger back issues. I'm still looking for that money tree. So talking about a money tree, I went into a Chinese restaurant one time, and they had a little they said it was a run filler. Yeah, and I'm a run guy, so but it would just aggravate the snot out of me that I had done that. Tapia's family, thank you for showing up and dropping in to say hello. Yeah, well, hey, hopefully work will be over. Yeah, so I was on a Valiant kick, and so was hitting up some to get some kind of run fillers. And so picked these up. Shadow Man number 7. This is one of the video game variants, which I always thought were kind of cool that I didn't have. Shadow Man number 9. For those of you who might not be familiar with Shadow Man, he's basically Valiant's Brother Voodoo, rather. And so good way to describe him. Shadow Man number 12. And if you're not familiar with Valiant Comics, or maybe you don't think that much about Valiant Comics, be sure to check out my interview with Justin over at Collecting Valiant that I did last weekend. Shadow Man End Times number 3. Shadow Man End Times number 4. And this is technically not Valiant, but if you grew up in the 90s, you remember Dr. Solar Man of the Atom as a Valiant character. He was actually a gold key character that Valiant used along with the Magnus, the robot fighter, and the Turok, Son of Stone, and then they renamed him Dinosaur Hunter. But those 3 characters to build their connected universe around. And so now it was Dark Horse, and then it became Dynamite. So Dynamite now owns them. And so I saw this when I was flipping through the back bins, and it was done by Bob Layton. This particular cover was, who was obviously one of the big folks over at Valiant Comics, and so decided to pick that up for $1. Then we've got Death Defying Dr. Mirage number 1, and we got number 2. So. Then we've got Deathmate, the preview from Advance Comics. So one of the big, or the big crossover event for the indies, Valiant Image back in the day was Deathmate. And so this was, of course, and so this is a preview. You know, they've got the gold, the blue, the red. They got all the different colors there in the beginning. This is just a preview that was in something, but found that in the dollar bin, so decided to pick it up. Then I got Delinquents number 2 and number 3, which it looks like there was another one, but they didn't have it. And so looks like a connecting cover. Looks like a board game. Always am a sucker for these type of covers. And the interesting thing was it's all the different states, and so there. And it says jail, you know. Few that I actually collect out there, but they're in the shadows, kind of like we that collected back in the 90s. We were geeks, and that was not cool back then. So, so it was funny because it says Mississippi, the South will rise eventually. Lose 3 turns while you wait. Montana. And I'm glad that they put another state besides Mississippi to be associated with the Klan. Blame internet or my computer, but yeah. So the he's got Kool-Aid crossed out. So yeah, Montana. There's Nebraska. Who even cares? Advance 2 spaces to avoid endless cornfields. Illinois. Woody loves the Bears. Draw a Woody card. Indiana, ignore the smell of hot dogs and go watch a bunch of dudes and a girl drive cars in a big circle. Draw an Archer card. Idaho, all the potatoes made you a little, let's just say gassy. Draw an Armstrong card and leave the room. Archer and Armstrong, for those of you who are not familiar, or Quantum and Woody, which are part of the series too, are they kind of tag team slapstick kind of comedy that Valiant has. What's going on, Legion of Comics? How are you today, sir? I do got some books that you might find interesting somewhere in these stacks. So we got 2 and 3, and then also picked up another copy of 2. Again, talking about Archer and Armstrong and Quantum and Woody. Then I got Divinity Divinity 1, number 4, and Divinity 4, different cover. Nice cover there. And basically, Divinity was a character that Valiant was trying to make that godlike character, kind of like DC has for Superman, or they had before with Dr. Solar. Then talking about Dr. Solar, I got a Dark Horse copy because Dr. Solar at one time was a Dark Horse property as well before it made its way to Dynamite. And check that out, Jim Shooter on the writing. And so thought that was pretty cool, especially for $1. And oh yeah, it's legit. And then, you know, Jason David Frank was the Bloodshot in that one, so made it pretty legit in that way too. Yeah, if you like slapstick comedy, I mean that's what it is there. And Bat in the Sun is, oh yeah, that was the one I was trying to. I was like, there's one that I wanted to show him, and this was one of the ones that I wanted to show you was that Dark Horse one, and then of course I had the preview from Deathmate, which had Solar on the front, and then a copy of the Dynamite Bob Layton cover. So you done had this one, obviously. I found the free comic book day one for Dark Horse. It was Dr. Solar and Magnus a while back at Second and Charles, and picked it up, and it must have been the same guy that was drawing this because it was pretty cool looking. So kind of on a Star Wars kick today, because you'll notice that I got Thrawn number 6, number 5, number 4, number 3. And I thought I got, but I guess I didn't get number 2. And I know I didn't get number 1. The number 1 that I want is the Mateen. On this side or that side or not. So Star Wars number 2, that's from the reboot, first reboot run, not the current one that's going on right now, but needed number 2 as a run filler. And then the Star Wars original from the old Marvel days, we've got number 26, number 75. Look at that, Steven Spot reflection cover. 57, 54, 46, 51, 53, and then we've got Divinity 3, number 1, Divinity 3, number 2, number 3. Of course, these are the main characters of the Valiant universe at that time: Shadow Man, Ninjak, Exo, and then Bloodshot. Number 4. Really cool covers. Then we've got kind of a spin-offs of that same little arc, Divinity 3 arc, which is Exo Manowar, Clayton Crane cover. So Clayton Crane did a lot of those Valiant covers during that time. Then we have Escape from the Gulag 396. And I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Archer or if this is supposed to be the Eternal Warrior. But in either case, they escape from the Gulag. The Gulag is where TK, TK's Batcave, has been. He always talks about the Gulag. And so you two put him in the Gulag. You want to talk about some Gulag? I put you in the Gulag. And so, anyway, he's ended up in the Gulag. Then we've got Commodore Bloodshot. That was my horrible rendition of a Russian accent. So Commodore Bloodshot there. Another Clayton Crane cover. Shadow Man in the Battle of the New Stalingrad. Another Clayton Crane cover. Harbinger 3. This is from the second volume of that run, or that name, Harbinger title. Bleeding Monk number 0. Another Crane cover. Divinity 2, issue 3, issue 2, and issue 1. And so all of those non-dollar books, well, even the dollar books he gave me. So I took them up there and I asked the LCS, I said, hey, are you going to give me some help on being financially irresponsible? And so he gave me 30% off. And he typically gives me 20% off on new books anyway. And so it gave me 30% off on the used stuff, which is probably a pretty safe bet because how many people are going to come in there looking for the various Valiants that I picked up, or even the Star Wars Marvel run, which has kind of picked up a little steam, but he's kind of hit and miss, but it makes no sense to me. So one day I was in there and I found 15 Star Wars from that Marvel run, original Marvel run. They were all in the dollar bin. They weren't trashed or anything. They weren't 9.8s, but they weren't trashed. So I was like, okay. So I picked them up, and then those I got 30% off. They were originally $6, I think. And then the rest of them, I mean, he's wanting to put $10 and $15 on, and like, what? You don't make any sense. I know, right? It's like all these people that are doing all these auctions. If it's not Thor, if it's Venom, it's like, is there anything else to sell? Is there any other characters? Bueller. Is there anything else out there aside from there? I get Thor. I don't have to go back and pick him up. I never got on the Venom hype train. About Venomed out, and sell me something else. So let's talk about new comic book day. We've got Flashpoint #1. I've been picking up most of these. Actually, I think I have all except the War of the Gods one. Kind of made a soft pass on it, but heard it was good, so I might go back and pick it up. The only ones I didn't really like, I did not like the Green Lantern one. I think it's a White Lantern. Didn't really like it, and I didn't like the Jericho one with the Titans in it. I did like the Eradicator, that Lois become the Eradicator. I liked the Azrael one, the Hush one that just came out. Liked it, and so liked the Flashpoint storyline. So figured I'd pick that one up and check it out. Now, as much of a Batman fan as I am, as I said, trying to focus my collecting now. You're looking at all this going, you're not doing a very good job of it. And you might be right for the most part. So I do try to, on Batman, try to corral it because Batman is such a widely used character to Detective and the main Batman storyline. Sometimes that works, sometimes it don't. So the Batman Grave one is fixing to, the last issue comes out next week, and of course that'll be wrapped up. But I was going to pass on it, but then it was too good to pass. Some Greg Capullo goodness. Tynion is writing some of this stuff in here. It looked like some good peeps on it. It's one of these DC Black Label books. So I decided to pick it up anyway. Seven Secrets #5. This is a pretty good series. I got the special store exclusive Inhunt League cover, kind of turned me on to that. It's okay, but it's going to have to pick up some steam to stay on the pull list at $3.99 when there's so many other good books out there. You've already read it. Straight, unrestricted, Reverse Flash. Nuts. Go back and get War Gods for sure. All right, good deal. Then I got TMNT 112. When I normally pick up these, I pick up the Eastman cover if I'm not getting one of the other special covers. So got that one. Then we got Devil's Red Bride #3 from Vault Comics. This is the only Vault Comics that I got. I was originally turned on to this by Bueller, who made his unofficial first appearance in issue 1 of this. It's okay, but like Seven Secrets, it's going to have to pick up some steam for me to continue to warrant to pay $3.99. There's just too many good comics out there right now, and there's too many back issues that I love to have to be content with okay comics. So there you go. Then I got Batman 104. I don't know if everybody's LCS was this way, but mine was. Batman 104 came out last week, but for whatever reason, the designer 1 in 25 design variant wasn't. And so I asked him about it. I said, well, I'm sure you already sold it out. He said, no, I never got it. I said, well, I'll tell you what, if you get it and it comes in next week, if you'll put it in my box. He said, yeah, sure. So he did, and it was there. Dig the colors. I just think it goes really well with her hair color and everything. So picked that one up for $10. So it's got a $5 cover price. $10 I didn't think was bad at all. when a lot of shops want to charge 25, which I understand and, might do most days. Back issues are always calling, right? There are so many, so many. And, if I was like Metarog and had all my collection from all those years ago, they probably wouldn't be calling as much because I'd already have them, right? But as many of you might know, I got rid of all of my comics in 2099 or 2000. After that, I picked up a few here and there when I just got on a whim. Most of those were Star Wars, Dark Horse, Star Wars era comics, which nowadays turned out to be a pretty good decision that I had. And so I had one long box, pretty full of comics, and that was it until a year ago. And I got back into collecting comics, and they've gone from one long box to over 7,000. So, as I made the analogy earlier, they are multiplying faster than gremlins in a hurricane. So then we've got Detective Comics 1032. Always like to pick up the B covers because he's just killing it. Little Batman looking all BA on the cover. Got the Batmobile with the lights on in the back. He's kind of leaning down like he's just kicking somebody's butt or he's checking something out. In this case, it's a dead body. Look at the lifeless hands right there. So pretty cool. And it's got the number 1 over here for like the crime scene clue. And there's a bullet. And of course, for those of you who've been reading Detective Comics, it's a really consistent read. And so Damian is going after a person that tried to have Bruce killed back when he was a kid. Come to find out, it's his last name's Elliot. That first name escapes me, but it's Hush. It's his half sister. So Hush captures them all at the end of the last issue. American Vampire 1976. This is issue 3. Picked this up just because Scott Snyder is pretty good at not missing. And this is kind of a sequel of sorts to his original American Vampire, which I'd kind of been wanting to get to read. Never got around to it. You can read this without having read it because I have, and it's been okay. But I feel like I would enjoy it much more if I knew the original story. So plan to probably go back and get those and trade and move forward with that. This was not on my pull, but when I saw one copy of it still sitting on the shelf and saw it and held it in my hand and said, I got to pick it up. This is Mighty Morphin number 2, the In-Huck Lee cover. So pretty dope. Green Ranger kicking butt right there. Really, really nice. Got the little reflection there in the lightning bolt off to the side. And so pretty cool. Still got to catch up on this. The former series going into where they split off into 2 series and then kind of make some determinations as to whether or not I move forward and with both of them, one of them, or any of them. And so William Smallwood, what is going on? We've got 2 brothers in the house. Tech has been better than Batman. Ghostmaker is lame. Thomas Elliott might have his hands full. Damian wasn't around last time Hush came. Yeah, there you go. And I think it's the way Damian can kind of apologize for the way he treated his dad in the Teen Titans Annual, where he quits being Robin. Obviously, there's a weird family dynamic there, and he takes after his father with having communication issues. So William Smallwood up in the house, Legion echoing an amen in that Mighty Morphin pick up. Then we've got David Ewing saying, nice book. Yeah, dope cover. Obviously, got several people that I know that are big Power Rangers fans. So I'm going to get around to reading it so I can see whether or not I continue to pick it up. Then we got Star Wars number 9. Charles Soule writing this. Really just been enjoying the current Star Wars runs of Star Wars, Bounty Hunters, and then also Darth Vader. Really good reads. Art's been good, particularly the cover art. and just been digging the stories. And so the main Star Wars thing takes place right after number one is right after they rescue Luke from Bespin, and goes forward from there. So this particular lady has a thing against Leia because of her connection, if you will, to killing Grand Moff Tarkin on the Death Star. So pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Then originally I was not getting into the crossover number two. This is crossover number two, but originally I wasn't getting on the crossover because I was like, Kate's just can't keep doing this. He's gonna miss it sometime. Digging his store, of course, I'm a big God Country fan, but So I picked up number one. It was one of those things. I think my LCS figures it out. If I only put one on the shelf, Jason might pick it up. If there's 100 on there, I'll put it off and say, well, there'll probably be some next week. I'll think about it then. So I think he done that because this is the same thing that happened with crossover number one. Picked it up and it was pretty good. But we shall see as to whether or not we continue to go forward with crossover. These new series, like I mentioned, Devil's Red Bride, Seven Secrets, and then crossover in the same way, that I'll give it maybe the first story arc, depends on how long, but normally the story arc is going to last 5 or 6 issues because that's how you put it into a graphic novel. So I'll give it the first 5 or 6 issues, and then if it's no good, I'll drop it. I've gotten to where used to, if I read a book, I want to keep a book regardless of how horrible it was. It's just I'm a completionist, I guess. Now that's my reading books as well as my comic books. That I read my comic books, my floppies as well as my paperbacks and hardcovers, maybe would be a better way to say that. But but now I've gotten, because just space wise, if it wasn't any good and if I don't feel like I'm ever going to read that again, then I'll go ahead. In the case of, say, I kept the first 6 issues, I'll sell them as like the first 6 issues. Gideon Falls is an example of that. I really like that series, but I'm keeping number one. It's a Jock cover, and I'm keeping it. But I've got they end in a couple months, maybe this month. No, it's next week or the week after. The last issue of Gideon Falls comes out, and so I'm going to read it and pick it up in the floppy and read it, and then I'm going to be done. And I'm just going to sell the run that I have, and then kind of go from there versus keeping it up, because I'm never going to read it again. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't good enough to where I was just like, man, I really think I missed something. Let me go back and read it again. And that would be the only reason why I would probably read it again, to think, okay, because sometimes you read a story and it's just like so good, and you got to get to marinating on it, and you say, man, let me go back. Or you hear somebody talk about something in the story and you go, man, I don't even remember seeing that. I don't even remember reading that part. So you go back and to kind of pick it up and see what else you might have missed. At least that's me. That's my way that I do things. We've got Superior Hero Reviews up in the house. Appreciate you showing up, sir. And so let's talk about Friday. So thanks to all of the folks that helped get us to over 600. So we're currently at 609. And so everybody that entered into the contest is going to be on the wheel for the 9.4 CGC slab of the first appearance of Deadpool, as well as this pop right here, which will come with it. It's not 2 separate winnings. It's one prize package. I will be doing some other giveaways on the show. You do not have to be present. If you win that, I'm not going to say, well, if you don't claim it within the next 10 seconds, it's going to go to the next person. I'm not going to say that. I'll reach out to you and give you a little while to claim it, or the winner to claim it. But if you win something else that I randomly pull out there, you will need to be in the chat to win, because I'm going to be just randomly pulling stuff out, or maybe asking trivia questions and that type of thing to see to give away the next stuff. So it's already scheduled. So be sure, if you're not getting the notifications, I think there's a way that you can actually just do for that one particular video. But if you're not getting notifications for the entire channel, at least you do that. I will tell you that the next giveaway is going to be announced on that video, as well as also the things you will need to do in order to qualify to enter to win that book. Let's see, Superior Hero Reviews. Can't remember if you entered. The Immortal Biggie Shack. He heard something about giveaway and he showed up. Yeah, Biggie, I was just talking about that New Mutants 98, which I know that Biggie is in that contest for that. And Biggie is on his way to 1,000. Biggie, how many subs are you at currently? You can go ahead and just drop it in the chat. I was looking, Superior, I was looking to see if your name was on this list. I don't see your name on this list, Superior. But hey, 900, man. You were kind of stuck at that 700 mark for a while. And Biggie, for those of you who don't know, has kind of been on this push, and so he's at 900. So congratulations on that. At this point, the momentum is in your favor, and before you know it, you'll be at 1,000, and you can go Biggie, you know, and all that kind of good stuff. So congratulations there. Superior, I did not see your name, so I tell you, if you want to, you can go ahead and do what it takes to enter into the contest if you haven't already. And that goes for anybody that watches this video right now or later. Go ahead and check out what you need to do in order to win that, and do that. And if you do it before the show, then I will put your name on the wheel list. I'm just got a list right now, and we'll put, cut and paste and put it into the wheel of names, and be doing that on that show. Can I watch it now or later? Later. Don't leave now. What's going on? How are you doing today? I think this is the first time you've been in any one of my live streams, and I noticed that you subscribed to the channel, so I appreciate that. Yeah, so since I'm such a nice guy, the only thing that you got to do in order to enter to win that New Mutants 98 is, one, subscribe to the channel and be 18 years or older. You do not have to be in the continental United States, because I will ship it worldwide. And go to find a new to you YouTube channel that talks about comics or pops. And in any one of their videos, subscribe to their channel, and then go to any one of their videos and put in the hashtag SCG sent me. Come back to any one of my videos and put in who you subscribe to, and you'll get a response back saying you're in. And that's all you got to do. So pretty simple. $17.5 pass. Biggie, I figured you already had a copy of New Mutants 98, as many bangers as you got. Your book didn't have any, your shop didn't have any books. That sucks. Then we've got Kidrano Prince. What is going on? Man, if y'all need some holders for your books, he's got some pretty dope ones, and he'll make you one if you need him to do that, for sure. Man, so Biggie, crossover, of course, another big Donny Cates deal. We got Star Wars #9, Mighty Morphin #2, in Huck Lee cover, American Vampire 1976 #3, Detective 1032, the B cover, Batman 104, the 1 in 25, Devil's Red Bride #3, TMNT 112, cover B, the Eastman cover, Seven Secrets #5. And Tom Taylor's pretty good, and like him, I believe he does Deceased stuff. And but again, he's going to have to step it up a notch if I'm going to continue to get that series. Batman Black and White #1, the Capullo cover. This is cover A. Then we got Flashpoint. This is Dark Multiverse, and so this is kind of an Elseworlds or a What If type story. Talking about Flashpoint, which Legion of Comics highly recommended. earlier. But so look at that stack compared to my back issues I got. So got all these. Oh, you do. So this is definitely the back issues have the new ones outweighed. Yeah, so knowing that I was giving away the New Mutants 98 9.4 CGC slab, I went ahead and picked up another copy myself because I have that whole volume of New Mutants. And so didn't want to break it up, completionists and all that, right? But I got a newsstand copy. So it's probably an 8 to an 8.5. Thought about sending it in, getting it pressed, obviously, by the comic book _ presser over on IG, which if you use the Bert54, you can get free shipping. There's a little plug, but I probably will get him to press it and send it to CGC. Because they've got that cool little Deadpool, 9.9, please. I thought it would kind of go well with that, which, Deadpool's probably fixed to be a big thing. I know that book has started spiking back up with the announcement that Deadpool 3 is going to be coming out. Obviously, with Deadpool's 30th anniversary, which makes me feel really old. 30th anniversary is coming up next year, and Rob Liefeld's coming back to that. Like him or hate him, but he's coming back to that. So I think there's going to be a lot of hype. So whoever wins that is definitely going to be winning a prize. Now, having said all that, the next prize that we're going to be giving away for the next subscriber milestone is not no slouch either. It is a low grade, I will tell you that, and I will also tell you it's a slab. But it is several first appearances, and based on things that are fixing to come out. Here's your hint. Based on things that are fixing to come out from Marvel and the MCU, this book's got nowhere to go but up. And it's could be yours for free, because my generosity. No, because give back to the community and do appreciate all the people that have been subbing up and sharing the channel and all of the like. No, not Eternals. No. It is an X-Men related book. How about that? So if you're not an X-Men fan, you probably take it or leave it. But it is a deal there. So let me see here. So I'm going to be going for probably maybe another few minutes and drop the StreamYard link in the chat if you want to join and talk it up about something that maybe is going over on your channel that you're doing, maybe a book that you're reading. Maybe you've seen one of the books that I showed off a while ago and you want to talk about it. Morph! Yeah, that would be pretty cool, right? But anyways, if you want to talk up some of your comics, some of what's going over on your channel, whichever, I dropped a link into the chat. If I don't recognize you, I don't want any little Vernons on the show, so I won't, bring you onto stage. But that is if you want to talk anything dealing with comics or your YouTube. Maybe some of the stuff that you're going to be picking up today or hopefully this week. Hopefully everybody is staying safe out there, but still being able to get out to the LCS, or in these days have the LCS come to you. Now, amazing as what that sounds, it's like, oh, wow, they shipped the books to me. The shipping is not quite as fast as it used to be. I've had a little slowdown. I keep asking my wife, where's these boxes? She's like, what do you got going on? What do you got coming? I've got several things coming. They're just not here. Let's see. Giant size. No, it's not a giant size. But would join, but I don't have a shirt on. Well, I appreciate that. Now, on your stream, you don't you take your shirt off, and Rob and everybody else takes their shirt off. Old Wolf, but not on this one. That's kind of weird. So Um, let's see. Uh, so Bert being all crazy over on IG. Um, cool. All right. So, also, did want to mention also that I have got a X-Men 4 that is being given away Friday as well. So, so doing two giveaways Friday for the X-Men 4. That's over on IG. Check out one of my more recent posts for that and see what you have to do. All you have to do, like the post, be follower of the channel, and then you just simply tag 4 different people on the post, and that's all you got to do. And so I'm going to go live on IG Friday before 2 o'clock. I'm not sure what time I'm going to do it, but I know I'm going to do it before I do the YouTube giveaway and give that book away. So if you are in the market or would like a copy of X-Men 4, which is the first Omega Red, then that is another good opportunity for you to win a free book. Just free, free, free. Now, wouldn't it be something that the same person that won the one on YouTube also won the one on IG? Man, wouldn't that be something? Gary B, the casual comic guy, not the serious comic guy, the casual comic guy, up in the house saying good evening all. So good evening to yourself as well, sir. But everybody likes it. But not everybody likes the Corona toe. Okay. so, um, Perry, Mr. Lobo himself. Perry, did you get the Lobo that came out recently with Dark Multiverse? I figured you'd be all over that since he doesn't ever get any love. Mr. Banana. That's Perry. Hey, but everyone remembers the Corona toe, and that's what Matt. Oh, okay, so it's part of your brand. That's Perry building his brand. People, he wants to be known for the Corona toe. Um, and Perry's like at 11,000 plus subscribers right now. Now I know that originally Perry, talking about him, originally Perry had tried to start 2 channels or maybe 3, but I checked out the other one, Perry Reacts. It didn't have very many, not near 11,000. So I guess she kind of gave up on that channel and moved on because I didn't see no new content on that one. And so let's see, how is it going? Let's see here. Oh, okay. Well, when you're got to upload more on there. Well, when you're at 11,000 on your first channel, I guess you're busy doing that. And I think I heard you say something on a stream the other day that it took you 4 hours just to edit it, and I can see that. That's why I don't edit much because it's more like a job. So that is definitely good work, though. By the way, you got to do something right to get 11,000 subscribers. Corona toe, maybe that was what it was. Maybe Corona toe put you over the top. Could be what put you over the top, sir. So let's see here. Got some. Yeah, that you probably didn't do as near as much editing on your old stuff, but that you do on it now. Yep. Trying to get through this last hour of work. Well, I hope that we have giving you at least some hope that work will soon be over, and you can go check out some good comic book content, reading at your house, watching it on the YouTubes, and seeing on the Instagrams and all that other kind of good stuff. So I've got some more interviews coming up. I'm going to be doing like collector specific issue stuff. Um, yeah, thanks, Biggie. So I'm going to be doing some more collector stuff. You might have seen the video that I did on Valiant. So just talking it up with collectors on books that I can actually have a conversation with. So means X-Men, means Batman, and Valiant. Not much else outside of that. Yeah, so probably going to, based on the comments in the chat, this is going to be my first read, and so I'll try to sort the new books into what I want to read first, and if it becomes a drudgery for me to want to read, then that is a clear sign I don't need to be continuing to buy it. Because anything that you pay $4 for or more, well, mine's $3.30 with plus tax after my discount. But still, anything you put that much money into, and there's so many other good books out there, it ought to draw you in. Now, you might be disappointed afterwards, but it ought to draw you in and say, okay, this is good stuff. Had a good conversation with the guy at the LCS, another customer that happened to be in there when I was in there, and he was pre-ordering a Turtles Casey Jones figure. I'm trying to remember. He said it was the people that did the Thundercats re-release and the Masters of the Universe re-release are coming out with a Casey Jones figure. And he said that let's see, because NECA does the cartoon and like the movie. He said these were like more of a callback to like the was it Playmation? The old figures. So it was kind of a callback to that. And so he was pre-ordering that. Too many good books. My pull list has never been bigger. Well, hey man, thanks for stopping by. Anyone else pick up and read Last Stories of the DC Universe? Also good. Couple of odd parts, but it hits in the feels. Okay. No, I didn't even see that one. Yeah, it can be. And I've thought about it. Like I said, I have been culling the new pull list and getting older books, getting runs I missed out on while I was out of collecting and that type of stuff. But yeah, for sure. Well, hey, nobody's jumping in, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up right before we get to the hour. And so do appreciate everybody for stopping by. Go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you will be one of the first people to know and can make the conscientious decision as to whether to watch it now or later. But as long as you watch it, you're good. And be sure to join us Friday at 2 o'clock Central Time for the 600 subscriber giveaway, as well as the announcement to the next giveaway. And also, go over to my Instagram page and enter to win the X-Men 4 that I'm going to be giving away on Friday before 2 o'clock. Not sure which time, but I'll go live on IG and announce it at that point and be contacting the person that wins, and so that they can get that book. And got a lot of other exciting interviews coming. Got some more hauls whenever USPS decides to deliver any of the stuff. And there you go. Till next time, folks, keep reading and keep collecting.